The JA37DI is probably one of my least favorite vehicles in War Thunder, and today I'm going to be rating it because I like the feeling of pain and suffering. First up, the DI has a max speed of 1,998 kilometers per hour. This makes the DI some of the slowest aircraft in this BR bracket, and on the deck it can reach a speed of about Mach 1.25, which is actually pretty good, but my god, this thing is a brick when you actually get into dogfights. It cannot retain speed at all. Additionally, its acceleration is pretty good sub-Mach, but once you hit Mach, your acceleration kind of drops quite quickly. So for the speed value, I'm going to give this thing a 5 out of 10. Moving over to agility, this thing cannot dogfight against enemy aircraft in its BR whatsoever. It can't even face 12.7s and win. The only thing the DIs are actually really good at is reversing, and that's due to the airframe because you can lose your speed quite quickly, and that pretty much just forces an overshoot. But if the enemy knows what they're doing or if the enemy has missiles, it's basically over for you. Not to mention you only really have one window of opportunity every time you reverse someone. Once you miss it, it's basically over for you because you'll have too low of energy to do anything. If you didn't want to force an overshoot and just wanted to pull straight into a dogfight, you basically have one turn before it's done. So I'm going to give the DIs a rating of a 3 for their agility. Moving over to their offensive armament, they do get access to 4 RB99/AM120s, and they can also carry Swedish variants of the AM9L. For 13.0, this is actually a pretty good selection, but you will face enemies that can carry a lot more missiles than you just because of the way the BR bracket system works. In addition to that, you do come equipped with a 30mm cannon. It is really spotty, like sometimes it'll one tap and other times you just get hit markers. In addition to that, you are missing tracers, so it can be really hard to aim. It's equivalent to waking up in the morning and trying to go pee, if you know what I mean. So therefore, I'm going to give this thing a 6 out of 10. Moving over to defense, this thing gets 320 countermeasures and 48 large caliber countermeasures, which is absolutely awesome. But your RWR is only directional, so you can't really tell where missiles are coming from. And the RWR can't even label what's locking you. It just gives you the basic PD and stuff like that. In addition to that, you don't have a voice warning system or a MAW to help you with the IR missiles. The RWR and the warning systems like that are really important for 13.0 and above. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 for defense. Moving over to cast, it only gets one cast loadout. You can carry 13.5 centimeter rockets, and you can carry up to 24 of them. That's all you get for ground pounding, and being placed at 11.7 ground battles, you often face SPAA that outrange you massively when you're in this thing. So the DIs are going to get a 1 out of 10 for casts. Moving on to electronics, the only real electronic systems this thing has are RWR and a radar. The radar is only okay for this BR bracket. It is a mechanical radar, so you're going against radars that are much more advanced, and you don't even have HMS or HMPD. And we already established that the RWR is absolutely atrocious for this BR bracket. The only saving grace is the fact that the TWS in this thing is actually pretty good. So for its electronics, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Moving on to durability, the DIs can tank a few rounds unlike most Delta Wings in War Thunder, although when you do get hit, it massively affects your flight performance. But I'm still going to give it a 5 out of 10 for durability. Moving over to difficulty, this thing is an extremely hard vehicle to get used to. You're constantly facing up tiers and radar missiles, all with a really bad RWR. In addition to that, you don't have any HMS systems where you can just fire at enemies while staying in a defensive position. The only time this vehicle was actually good is when you got the surprise down tiers to 12.0 and ARB. At that point, you're basically the only vehicle in the game with AM120s that you can just spam them off. But this vehicle just isn't good. So with 10 being the easiest and 1 being the hardest, I'm going to give this thing a difficulty rating of a 2. Again, I'm going to repeat it, this isn't a good vehicle, so it's not fun to play. And when you even get those down tiers, majority of the time you're going to be playing BVR, and that's even less fun. When I'm looking for fun vehicles, I want those high action, close combat, butt clenching moments, you know? And that vehicle just doesn't have it. It's pretty bland. So for fun, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. Moving over to its value, the F21 is a premium version. And yes, it could get you through the entire Swedish air tree if you wanted it to, but it comes with a really hefty price tag. And my firm belief is the fact that the J35XS is just a better pick in general. And the tech tree version of the DI is a folded variant, and I would not get that thing at all. There's no added benefit other than being a collector's item. So for its value, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. This leads to the abysmal overall score of a 33 out of 100. And on my grading scale, that gives it a D. I highly recommend not getting the JA37DI.